Hello, it's Barry, and you're watching Barry and the PI. I hope you watched my video yesterday at Lake of the Taal volcano, and I showed you some of the shops around there in the center. And towards the end there were a couple of girls, young, nice looking ladies, that I took off their mask. And they liked my blue eyes. I've had that a lot around here in the Philippines for a long time. Anyway, I see it's very easy to meet good-looking young Filipinas here in the Philippines. Just get out of Manila and pick out a place to go and hang around there for a couple of days. So what I wanted to talk about is how do you get around the Philippines? Of course, the easiest way and the quickest way would just catch a flight. That can use up a lot of money, particularly now when prices are a little bit high. I know when we went to Boracay, I paid for myself, Maida, and our young niece, Lila, and I think that was about $300 or so for the airport fare. And it doesn't take you to Boracay, it takes you across to another island, Cataclan. And then you have to take a boat. Well, you have to take a van to the fort and then catch a ride on the boat over to Boracay. Hey, oh, what's bothering them? Oh, Maida's here. Okay. That's what they were whining about. So, no. Now they're all going over there except Pepper is laying here by my feet. I myself, I've taken ferries several times, and if you can get a fast ferry, that's the best thing because they are fast. And you just go from Lily, no, hello, here she is, and I like to see some of the islands now. You catch jeepneys, it's a short trip, trike. But often you can find somebody in there that's got like an SUV or something, and they'll take you where you want to go. And sometimes that's the best way to do within an island. You just get somebody with a car and pay them a little pesos, and they'll take you around. I've done that quite a bit. In some places you can just catch a trike and see the whole island in 30 minutes, some of the smaller islands. But the ferries, which have, we call them roll on, roll off, or Rolo, and you can get around that way. I kind of like it because I like, I was in the Navy and I like being on the sea. I like watching the waves, seeing if there's porpoises or maybe a whale shark comes up. And you get to see the island. You get to see more of the Philippines. And just driving along the highway, I've seen some beautiful places and interesting places. A lot of times you'll be driving along, there'll be something waterfalls this way, and you can go and find some pretty unique waterfalls. So you can catch a flight down to, say, Cebu, and then you can take ferries. They have some fast ferries going over to Bohol and some other islands. If you get those, you can have a good time. Now, you can drive. You can, if you wanted to rent a car, if you live here and own a car, you can drive all the way from. You can drive your car or truck from Manila all the way down to Mindanao, just by catching the ferry, the roll-on, roll-off ferry. I know a guy that's done that, and he put it on YouTube. He had a video on that. It took 2 or 3 days, I think. But you can do that. So there are a lot of buses that fly the different highways and go to different cities. Most of the ones that foreigners catch are very modern, big buses. They even have a toilet on it. I've caught some of those too, and but one time, it was very early in our relationship. I think it's when we were waiting to get married. We went to Legazpi, and that's where the Mayon volcano is. Mayon volcano is one of the most perfectly shaped shield volcanoes. My geology textbooks, they always had, we were talking about volcanoes, it'd have a picture of Mount Mayon, and it's a beauty to see. You can see it from miles away before you even get to Legazpi. And I highly recommend you take a trip down to Legazpi and take a look at that volcano. It's an active volcano, and when we were there, it was spewing out just ash and steam mostly all the time we were there. And then about a week or 2 later, it was starting to really erupt. But that's a good place to go. Really, there's like 7,000 islands that make up the Philippine archipelago, and so there's plenty for you to go exploring. There's smaller islands, and then there's some bigger islands. Iloilo and Guimaras, they're fairly close together. A lot of nice things in Iloilo. But Guimaras is the home of the world's sweetest mangoes. the best mangoes I've ever had were found on Guimarães. Something about their soil makes them grow great sweet mangoes. We stayed at a resort that every morning and all through the day they had mangoes there for you. They have mangoes for breakfast, they have it for dessert, for lunch, and in the evening. We have a daughter that lives in Iloilo, and so when she comes to visit us, she'll bring us a big box of Guimarães mangoes. Last box, I had too many people over here because they ate most of them. I only got one. I was planning on having that for a few days. So, there's lots of ways to travel around the island. Don't be afraid of getting on a ferry. Yeah, it's not very private unless you can get one of the few staterooms they have. And those are usually taken before I bought my ticket. So I stayed in, we had bunk beds and a large dormitory room with about 20, 50 other people, and not any privacy there. And some of them are very slow. I mean, very slow. Slow boat to China, that's what that's like. And so it's, you want to try to see some of these islands. I've tried to do it, and there's still a lot more islands that I want to go to. So that's something I look forward to. We'll hopefully get to do that soon here. So that's about it. I'm not worried about the volcano right now because the conditions of it aren't occurring for it to be a major eruption. So I'm just sitting out here enjoying it. We had a little brief shower, and let me show you this. Blew a coconut down. You don't want to sit under a coconut tree. If you want to go camping, stay away from coconut trees because those things do blow down. And you don't want to sit or sleep under a jackfruit tree. Those are about the size of a big watermelon in the U.S. and they grow on trees. So, all right, that's about it. I just wanted to tell you about how to get around. There's many ways to fly, but every time I fly, I'm looking out the window and I see some islands that, I'd like to wonder what island that is. I'd like to go there. So, if you can find a boat going to just about every island you want to go to. So that's about it. Y'all take care, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.